Hi, I'm Sonny, and I'll be taking you through a full body kettlebell workout today involving a mixture of upper body and lower body movements. We'll be focusing on some unilateral movements today, which will help you get rid of any compensation patterns that might be occurring. If you don't have a kettlebell, that's quite all right. You can absolutely use a dumbbell, and you might find that you want to use body weight for some of these movements as well. So we're going to get started with a great dynamic warm-up and just helping prime the movements for the main circuit. So let's get going. Starting out, you're going to take your kettlebell. Again, you can do this with a dumbbell or body weight, and we're going to start with a deep squat. So I want you to bring the kettlebell a little bit a ways in front of the body, and we're going to come down into our squat pattern. So with our squat pattern, we want to make sure our feet are comfortably distanced apart. When we come down, I want you to make sure you're bringing your elbows on the insides of the thighs. So we're actually pushing and resisting with some tension. You're going to grab the horns of the kettlebell and bring it up close to the chest, and we're just chilling here for a good roughly 30 seconds. Now, if you find your heels are lifting, you might need to shimmy into a wider stance, but just make sure your knees are out nice and wide. If your heels are still lifting, just work on that mobility. Make sure there's no knee pain and just hold this position. Nice upright posture. It's a good position to sit in, honestly, once a day if you can. And we're just holding nice tension here. Couple more seconds, deep breaths, opening up the hips. 3, 2, 1, dropping that kettlebell, coming up, grabbing a band. If you have one, you can absolutely do this body weight as well. If it's a band, I encourage it to be super light. We don't want it to be too heavy. So if you're doing this body weight, you're just gonna think about holding a band and do this with some tension. Otherwise, hold that band all the way at the edge, and we're gonna start by reaching in front of us, coming up, and I go really slow with this, back and down. So I'm actually actively pulling the band apart as I come down. So I'm cueing and I'm prepping my overhead mobility here because we're gonna do some overhead presses today. Nice controlled movements. Now once you feel like you have that down and that feels okay on the rotator cuff, we're gonna really go slow. Keeping these nice and slow and controlled. And I'm also actively tucking my ribs in here as I reach overhead. Nice controlled movements. Let's get a couple more. You're gonna feel like a big stretch in the chest, perhaps the rotator cuff. Trying to connect to the back as you come down. One more rep. Pushing the shoulder blades away from each other, coming up. Pull that band back up and over and rest. Amazing. Now this next one, I like to use a chair for. And we're gonna grab that chair. It's roughly knee height with the chair. We're gonna sit down on it in a nice, similar to your squat pattern, nice and wide. And this one I love so much. It's gonna get the hips as well as the T-spine, so that mid-back that we're gonna need that stretch for. So we're gonna come down, we're gonna grab the tops of the shoes here, and you're gonna straighten out the legs. Now I'm not locking the legs out, I'm just straightening them just until I feel the hamstring stretch. Then I come down, I keep one hand on the knees, so we're going right side reaching up, and as I reach, I'm resisting and I'm opening up my left hip, and I come down, other side, reach, and back to center. Legs straighten, nice big hamstring stretch. We come down, deep breaths, we open. Now I'm gonna start to speed it up a little bit more. With that twist, everyone, we're getting into a nice big stretch in the mid-back, but I still wanna keep some core tension on that movement. This is an excellent full body mobility. Let's do 2 more. Reach, good. Pushing and opening up the hips. Last one, straighten the legs out. Feel that hamstring stretch, come down, reach, little twist, and back to center. Amazing. Done with the first portion of the workout. Now, we're on to the next portion, which is going to be more of a priming for the core, because we're going to use a lot of core in the kettlebell circuit, so we want this to be nice and activated. So we're going to do this 2 times through. We're starting with straight leg dead bugs, and we're going to move right into our quad kickbacks. So with the dead bug, the straight leg dead bug variation is a little bit more challenging. So if you're finding that the back is feeling it, I just want you to give me a standard dead bug. So the standard dead bug would look like this. We're tucking the pelvis posteriorly, then we lift one leg up, stack the knee to the hip, other leg up, and this would be the standard dead bug where I'm really pushing my back into the mat and I'm focusing on core tension all the way. A little bit more advanced, we're straightening the legs out. I lift my head up a little bit and I'm going a little bit faster with my alternating dead bugs. So pick a variation that feels best and we're moving with it here. Nice controlled movements. I'm really pushing my back into the ground, into the mat. And I'm making sure I'm not feeling this in my lower back. I feel it front and center in my core. So a couple more. 3, 2, 1. Excellent. Flipping it on over into our quad kickbacks. So this is another core dynamic movement, but we're also getting into the glutes a little bit here. So I want you stacking shoulder to wrist, plug those shoulders down, push the ground away from you. Now, 2 options. If you find the knees elevated is too much on the wrist, you can keep the knees down. Otherwise, try to elevate the knees, and we're doing kickbacks alternating. On this specific movement, I'm really making sure I'm tucking my ribs in. So I'm not trying to overarch into the lower back. Feel this in the core, I feel this in the shoulders. Big time glute tension. Let's do 3, 2, 1, and rest. Just 15 seconds here. Nice deep breaths, that was awesome. I'm gonna do this 2 times through. So I found on the second set, we can really focus again on feeling this connect a little bit more. So nice deep breaths. Let that heart rate come down a little bit. And we're gonna do this one more time. So on the second set, again, try to connect a little bit more. I like the same setup, really taking our time to set up, arms in front, posteriorly tuck the pelvis, find that nice core tension first. We lift, straight legs if you choose, head lifted or on the ground. Again, if you're feeling neck tension, by all means, keep your head on the ground. This is mostly about the core. Nice controlled movement. My core is shaking here as I drop my leg down. So just think of your legs as counterweights. 5, 4, 3, 2, last extension and flip it over. No rest, we go right into this. Getting into this position, tabletop, push that ground away from you. Lift the knees slightly or keep them on the ground as we lift into our kickbacks. I'm feeling my glute tension. Again, I'm working on anti-rotation in my core, so I keep my hips nice and stable. Keep moving here. 4, 3, 2, 1, rest. That is the dynamic warm-up. Now we're nice and prepped for our circuit. So please don't skip the warm-up. It's crucial. We need to prep all the right muscles, and it's really important for injury prevention, and it's gonna honestly make your workout feel 10 times better. So grab your dumbbell or kettlebell, and we're gonna start with our first movement. So we have a kettlebell chest hinge. So what I love about this movement is oftentimes when we lift the kettlebell from what we call a dead stop straight from the ground up, that sometimes can aggravate people's back. So I like to start with this variation from the top down. We still find the hamstrings, and if there's a certain range where you feel the back, you can kind of back off of it as opposed to starting from the ground. So I want you to come down, grab your kettlebell or dumbbell. If it is a dumbbell, you're gonna hold it by the bells at the sides. Otherwise, kettlebell, hold it by the horns. You're gonna rotate the kettlebell so the flat the flat part is just resting comfortably, kind of upper abdominals. And I'm gonna show you this one from the side so you can really see. So I'm in kind of a narrow stance, about hip width apart. I plug my shoulders down. I'm gonna bend my knees slightly. Now this is a hip hinge, not a fold, meaning I need to push my hips way back to feel a nice stretch in the hamstrings. And then I really squeeze my glutes and finish tall at the top. So make sure we're not just folding down slowly. So we're gonna do this together. Nice tension, nice deep breath, slowly pushing the hips back. Feel that hamstring stretch, strong drive. 1, active glutes at the top. 2, and I'm pulling my shoulder blades together and down, keeping my back nice and flat. We're shooting for 10 to 12 reps here. You do not have to match my repetitions. This is really important. You might have a totally different weight than me. You just want to reach that point where we're feeling a good challenge. That's the most important thing. So I'm gonna do about 3 more. Control, strong drive. 2, 1. Fantastic, dropping that kettlebell. Now with the style of the circuit, we're gonna go right into the next exercise. You can take about 15-second rest, but I encourage you, if possible, to just go right into it. So now we're gonna do a half kneeling overhead press. This one of my favorite pressing variations. So if you have limited time during the week, but you need all your foundational movement patterns in, this is the press I would go to, as long as your overhead mobility feels good. So we're gonna grab that kettlebell, make sure that handle crosses from top down at this angle. We're gonna get a nice grip. We're gonna start in the packed position. If you have a dumbbell, you're just gonna hold it by the handle. Not in the packed position, you're just gonna keep that nice shoulder blade tension as you press up. Otherwise, kettlebell, we wanna start packed on the open side. I'm relaxing my back foot in the back. I get my arm out for stability. I'm retracting and depressing the shoulder, and then I'm gonna nice, powerful press up, and I take a little second at the top to stabilize. So we really want that nice rotation as long as that feels good. We're doing this together here, strong press, making sure in this half kneeling stance that we're really locking into the core and the glute tension. Nice deep breaths. You're working big time core here, promise. So as long as you're bracing, you're working. Let's do 1 more press here. I'm feeling that challenge. You can start to see that kettlebell kind of slow down. I'm still getting it up there, but it's becoming a challenge. That's what we're looking for. Other side. So open side down, left knee down, grabbing that kettlebell, crossing, hacking the shoulder. So the ball is resting at my bicep and a little on my forearm. No wrist pain should be present here. We get a nice strong press up, control, pack, press. Nice core tension, nice glute tension. Really working that strong power press at the top. Deep breaths. Now you'll notice, just like I am, one side is gonna feel harder. That's my left side. So I try to match the reps as best I can, but if I get a couple reps shy or 1, that's okay. And rest. Feeling that overhead press strong. So that really works, again, core, but a lot of deltoids. And we're getting a nice overhead mobility there. Excellent, excellent job. That one's not easy. Moving on. One of my favorite squat patterns, we're getting into our kickstand squat. So in this position, you're going to act as if you were gonna do a reverse lunge. So your feet come close together. Then all you gotta do from here, I actually want you to hold the kettlebell by the ball here, nice and secure. You're gonna just scoot your foot back in line with your heel on the train tracks. And all you gotta do is lift that foot up so you're on the ball of the foot in the back. I have nice strong back tension and I'm grounding myself in my front leg. So this is gonna look like a goblet squat, but what I'm working here is mainly my left leg. One of my favorite unilateral squat exercises. So take it slow, coming down, strong drive, big squeeze at the top. I go slow on the negative, and the main focus here, don't use the back foot, use primarily the front leg. 2 more reps. Deep breath, keep that chest lifted. 1, and rest. Take 15 here. I'm gonna take a water break because I need it. We're gonna take little sips of water, Just tiny bit. You should be hydrating before. Nice deep breaths. So why I like to take 15 seconds is this back leg, it still worked about 25%. So I don't want to switch right into it. It's going to be tired. At least 15. Now we're ready. So we're going to grab that kettlebell or dumbbell close to the chest. Train tracks. Right side's working. Left side on the ball of the foot. Back tension. Keep that chest lifted. We're working it. Control that negative. Nice control here. So what I'm mainly working on and feeling is my right quad, my right glute, and I'm going slow again on the negative. Don't just collapse. Deep breath. Two more. You got it. Last one. Little break. You're doing amazing. This is tough stuff. So again, why I love kettlebell or dumbbell unilateral work is we are really working a lot of stability, hips, core, and you just have a lot of muscle to work with there. Moving on to our last exercise in the circuit, we're gonna do a nice lateral lunge with a row. So in this position, I want you to get substantially wide, and you're gonna try to keep your toes forward. If you have any knee pain in this, definitely experiment with the turn out and turn in of the toes. You don't want them to be overturned inwards, but experiment with that. Start nice and wide, and I want you to come down into a isometric, meaning we're holding this lateral lunge. We're gonna hold this position. You're gonna line your kettlebell up, shoulder stacked with the wrist. You're gonna get your opposite arm out here, and we're gonna row. I am rotating the kettlebell as I pull. This is a pretty intense feel in my right outer quad, and I'm working my left upper back. So a lot happening here. Bracing, trying to tap the kettlebell down on the ground. Let's do two more. Again, if you have more reps in you, definitely take it. Coming up for a little relief, deep breaths. So again, a lot of outer quad on that one, and contralateral opposite shoulder. Now let's get that left side. Left side in terms of that quad tension, right side with the back. Reach down. Again, I'm stacked shoulder to wrist, and I row. Tension is big. So what I mean by that is we don't want to just pull without proper tension. We want to make sure we're locked into the right stuff, feeling the right stuff as we row. Nice deep breaths. I'm going to do three more. 2, 1. Come up for relief. Rest. Now we're at the rest point. That took a while. That is an excellent time frame though. Again, we're working on getting in a quick workout. We still have 2 more sets to go, but here's the thing. If you're starting out with these movement patterns, these are new to you, maybe you'll feel set after 2 sets. Then you can build in time to 3, maybe even want to tack on a 4th set. It's up to you, but you are trying to reach that challenging point. That's what we're looking for. That's where we create that nice change and that nice strength. So a little water break here, cheers. All right, make sure you're hydrating, make sure you're recovering, sleeping, all that's so important. We're gonna get the second set. Let's do this together. So starting out, if you can remember, so long ago, we're gonna go back to our kettlebell hinge. So let's grab that kettlebell or dumbbell or body weight. Hold that close to the chest, the flat part of the kettlebell. Nice and upright, narrow stance. Round 2, deep breath. Bend the knees, push those hips back. I'm really feeling and finding my hamstring tension here. If you're not feeling the hamstrings, I encourage you to push your hips back more than you think. Really work on that hip hinge versus the fold. And I'm finding my glute tension at the top. Nice upright posture. Brace that core coming down. Let's do 2 more. 1, right into our press. Now we're moving a little faster, but don't worry, we will rest in between sides on this one. Let's start right knee down, and then we're gonna cross that kettlebell, pack it, left arm out, tension before the press. Find that shoulder blade, find that core. Deep breath. So I'm using my inhale, brace, then I exhale. So my first rep is work right away. It's not taking me a while to feel it. It's work from the beginning to the end, and it gets harder as I go. That's what we're looking for. 2 more. Last press. And switching sides. Deep breaths, 15 seconds. You're awarded 15 seconds. Control the breathing. Now I'm using weight today. Again, you do not match my weight. You want to start with something lighter to make sure that feels good and pain-free. The challenge is all relative, so we work up to anything. Let's get that weight. Left side. We're in a pack. Tension. Strong drive, straight up. So I'm squeezing my left glute here substantially to help me balance. That's why I love the half kneeling stance, because I am working some lower body stability as well as core. Tension, press. 2 more. Again, keep going if you feel. I'm gonna rest here. Not long, we go right into the next one. We're doing our kickstand squat, standing up. I'm gonna hold the kettlebell here by the ball. If I hold it by the horns all the time, that's gonna be a little shoulder heavy, so we're here. I'm gonna start on my right side. So we're in the train tracks. Left side comes back, kickstand, deep breath in, I'm coming straight down, control. The biggest challenge on these is to get a lot of mind muscle connection in that right quad, that right leg, and tell the back leg to not do so much work. So we're not focusing on that left. 3 more. If you're not making funny faces, then the challenge might not be quite there, unless you're really good with your poker face. Let's do 2 more. Last one. Rest, 15. Little break. Deep breath, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Heart rate is elevated for sure. Let's get that other side. Left side, on the train tracks. Nice tension, nice and upright. Right foot on the ball of the foot, coming down slow. Connecting to that left quad. Now, if you're feeling like this is not quite connecting, or you're feeling like you're rotating, just give me a standard goblet squat. But again, I do love this variation for its unilateral emphasis. Couple more. 2. I say a couple and I keep going. Last one. Rest. There we go. Not long though, we go right into our lateral lunge. We're almost at that rest point, okay? So let's get into our stance. If you do need more time, just press that pause button and hop back into it. So we're gonna get into, I'm bringing my feet, my toes more forward because I want my inner thighs to do a little bit of work here, but that is optional. Find what feels best. I'm gonna set my kettlebell up, left side, hips back, hold that isometric lateral lunge, grab that weight, and we're rotating. Palm down to thumb up. Now, if you have a dumbbell, you're not gonna come all the way down to the ground, and you're prioritizing what we call neutral spine. So really trying not to flex the spine here. 2 more. 1. Rest, relief, 15. I'm sweating. Hopefully you are too. Nice deep breaths. Let's set up that right side. Hips back first. So we don't want to elevate the heel. We get that feeling strong. We get that nice lateral tension. Right arm out. Row. Second set is feeling harder for me too. That's the point. tap, rotate. Couple more. Last one, I lied. And rest. Again, if you have more reps in you, definitely take it. Take a break. We are done with the second round. We do have one more technically. Again, if you feel like stopping here and you're good, great. You can always build into that third set. Cheers for the second round. Water is important. Hydration, recovery, as you know. Stretch it out tomorrow. You might feel a little tight, so you can even do the whole warm-up, and that will be awesome. Let's get our third round. So make sure you're resting at least a minute. We're going to go into our third round. Most important round, in my opinion. We're most fatigued, so we really need to make sure that form is on point. So let's get it. Last and final round, starting with our hinges. I'm gonna face the front so you can see what it looks like from the front. By the horns, flat piece of the kettlebell, gently in the upper abdominals, bend the knees slightly, push the hips back. So my width with my feet, that depends on where you're feeling it. If you're really feeling this in the upper back and you've tried tension, you've tried hinging, I would suggest getting wider with your stance, and that can just help with that stability as well. Otherwise, keep that nice hybrid or narrow stance. Big squeeze at the top. I'm actively squeezing my glutes together. I always say, like, you want to grab a $100 bill at the top, then let it go, and grab that $100 bill. 2 more. Last one. Excellent. Left knee down. So it is good if you can remember to switch knees. Don't always start on the right side down or vice versa. So when I get that overhead press, grab your weight, packed position, right arm out, glute tension, tension everywhere, straight up. So I am trying to get my bicep alongside my ear. Everybody's mobility is going to be a little different. That might not feel the best for you. So definitely, we want to always avoid any range in which we're experiencing pain. Let's do 2 more. Last one. And rest. So that might mean we're a little bit more anterior, and that's okay. Deep breaths. Inhale through the nose, out through the mouth. Control that breathing. Let's get this right side. This is the hardest set. You're doing great. Pack that shoulder, tension, straight up. So I'm thinking in all of these movements of neutral spine. So making sure I'm keeping a nice rigid spine, nice and flat, bracing the core, using my core to stabilize my spine and my hips. Let's do 2 more. We're almost there. Last press, getting that weight up. Whew. Rest a little bit. I want to rest, but try to make it through. Again, if you need more rest, take it. Kickstand squat. We got 2 more to go and we're done. 2 more exercises. Starting on the left side. If you have a side that feels weaker, I would suggest starting on that side so you start strong with that. Let's line that foot up with the heel, nice and upright. Let's get it. Control. Again, I don't want any knee pain here. So I'm really feeling that range out. A standard goblet is always good. Been training for a long time and I still do goblet squats all the time. So if that's feeling better, by all means do that. Let's do 2 more. 1. And I like to set that kettlebell down for our 15 seconds. Deep breaths. You're doing awesome. Deep breath. And exhale. Let's get that right side. Start on the train tracks. On the ball of the foot in the back. Tension straight down. Here we go. Trying to keep your hips center. Try not to lean into one side. And notice how I'm kind of clamping my elbows down. I'm not flaring them out. That's important. Keeping those shoulders depressed. One more. Rest. Lateral. Lunge, rows. This is the last exercise. Let's get it. So I want you into your wide stance. Toes straight or turned out a little bit. Let's line that kettlebell up. Right side, hips back. Set that quad tension. I'm also using this arm because I want to create tension on my right shoulder blade, and we're rowing. I'm going for roughly 8 reps. Again, use your judgment. Strong pulls. 2. 1. Little breather. Last and final side. Set that kettlebell up first, lined up with the toe, hips back, quad tension. Make sure the knee doesn't come inbound. Think of your feet like tripods. Grabbing with the right, depressing the shoulder, and we pull. Strong row. This is for mainly that upper back, but yep, definitely quad tension. 3, 2, last pull, and done. We made it. I'm telling you, that is a doozy. Amazing job. So we are gonna just cool it down. This is something I like to do. It's important after all that tension and energy to do something just recovery based. So I'm gonna get into a nice wide stance, and I'm just gonna hold a child's pose. So I like to get down here on the hands and knees, push the hips back. And in this position, it's less of like dropping the head. I'm actually more so opening up the hips. It's kind of like an athletic position. We're holding some tension here, but breathing and relaxing as best we can. Letting the heart rate come down. That's what we're doing here. You did awesome. It's a lot of moving, a lot of muscles we're working, a lot of intention behind creating that tension. Give me some deep breaths, and you're just holding this for like 30 seconds to a minute. Inhale. Exhale. One more breath. And you are good to go. Thank you so much for taking this class. It's a tough one, but it has a lot of benefits. So try it out. Again, listen to your repetition range, listen to your sets, listen to your body, and you're gonna have some fun, and I'll see you next time.